level I'll be looking. We're outside today, as you can see. It's cold, the sun's shining, and there is snow, so we go on for our snowplows getting the view. Right, this is my Brighton Ark. There's two sizes in this range, and there's a 4 foot and a 6 foot, which means 4 foot that way, 6 foot that way, or 4 foot that way, and 4 foot that way. Pretty simple. I can't take full credit for this. The original idea was thrown in my head by a man called Jack Hargreaves, way back in the early 80s it must have been. And he was down the New Forest, and there was a traveller down there who had a single bantam in a square ark, ark, which was basically had a ramp going up but the house upstairs. And I thought, what a brilliant way of utilising the space. So I nicked his idea, but I have enhanced it somewhat since then. Right, the main advantage of arks like this is the birds have always got shade or shelter, because although they're confined, they can get into the sun, they can get into the shade, they can get out of the wind. And what people don't realise is the birds don't actually like the sun too much. They're too exposed, they haven't got a natural way of sweating, so they need to keep them, monitor their own temperature by keeping themselves in the shade when they want to. So just put them outside is all well and good, but there is a drawback to that. So the other thing is security. With this ark, the birds are safe, in my opinion, 24/7. Although there is a ramp on there and you can shut it and open it so you can shut the birds up at night, personally I never have done, and I've kept a lot of birds in these. I used to keep somewhere around about 300 in a whole range of arks like this, bigger than this granted of course, and I never ever shut them up, because in my opinion these arks are fox-proof 24/7. So to think that you have to shut them up at night is somewhat crazy, because the fox will come during the day, so if the birds are safe during the day, they're safe at night, and that way they maximise their happy factor, because they can put themselves to bed, get up, get down, do whatever they want to do without you interfering. So in my opinion that's a big plus. So although I've been making these for a long time, this ark now is kind of getting towards the pinnacle now of refinery. I don't know if that's a word or not, but I've said it anyway, a bit like myself I suppose. So what you've got here, excuse my bum. Right. When building a chicken ark, there's several things you have to take into account. First thing, ideally you're a chicken keeper, so you can talk from some form of strength. Now, birds like a high perch and a low nest. That's a basic factor. The other factors when building chicken houses are the perching length, the number of nests, and the run area. Whichever one is the lowest common denominator, that's how many birds you can get in that ark. Now with this ark, I would say 5 or 6 maximum. More if you're going to free range, because then it isn't a problem. But just as a concise unit, let's say 5. And I always build these type of arks around the hybrid, which is a little brown laying bird, which for a first time keeper is a godsend. It pumps out an egg a day, no hassle, doesn't do all the things that other chickens seem to do, like feather peck and God knows what else. You trick them right, they'll give you an egg a day. End of story. So what we've got up here, suspended floor with a perch. And the perch is a good solid lump. Okay, it's not a spindly little piece of old roofing batten that they found in the back of the workshop somewhere. That's a solid lump, because birds have got a fair old claw on them, and they need that. This is to them is a tree branch, not a little twig that's going to wander about, they'll wave about. So, and it comes out for cleaning, which is vital, because there's a little beastie out there called red mite, and we could do that another day. I might even do a video especially on red mite, but you need to be able to expose the end of the perches, because that's where they get. That's pole position for a red mite, literally. Pole position, joke there somewhere. Right. Suspended floor. All the materials I use, by the way, and anything I make are pressure treated if it's timber, and if I have to use ply, because ply is good in so much as it's strong, it's durable, I use marine grade, and that means you can build a boat out of it. So a bit of chicken poo or a bit of chicken wee on it is not going to affect it in the slightest. So that's a solid lump of timber there. Right, the birds can get up into that area by that ramp, which I hope you can see, and then what we've got here is a pulley up piece, which you can hook up and seal in. But as I said to you earlier, that's your option. I don't, but I'm not telling you that because that would be irresponsible of me, but hey, there we go. So, there we go for that bit. So you've got your perch, you've got your suspended floor. Now if you notice, the perch area, the nest area is down. So that means because the birds' chicken are floor layers, in the forest or jungle, wherever they first originated from, they didn't climb up a tree to make a nest, they made a little divot under a bush somewhere. So if you like, here's your divot, and they go down and they ground lay. So with this ark, I'll just change position again. what we've got here is obviously access to the nests, but what you've got is a nest shutter to start with, which at night bars the birds access to the nest. And the reason you want to do that is the birds will dump in the nest. I chose that word pretty carefully. The disadvantage of doing that is obviously it gets all over them and all over the eggs. It's bad husbandry. And I have known from experience that if you shut the birds off for about a period of maybe a month, in the end, up here, they don't try and get there, they go to the perch and that's where they'll stay. I'm not quite happy on the perch, but just some of them will just fall into the nest, if you will, and stay there. So this is a way of counteracting that. So during the day, that comes up like that, and the birds can get into the nest. Now there's 2 nests in this one, which to my way of thinking would take up to about 10 birds. I allow 5 birds per nest. But I can't say 10 birds because I said to you earlier, with the perch and the run area, it wouldn't add up. But if you get a free range from it, then you can probably keep 10 in it. No, the perch is too short, but you get the drift, I hope. So I said to you earlier that keep making arks and designing arks, you have to be a chicken keeper. You can't be some, I don't know, shed manufacturer who wants a way of using up a few offcuts, or some Johnny come late and you think they can make a few bob by doing it. Yeah, they're out there, but they're not chicken keepers, whereas I am, or was, more is the point. So that's why I don't like dirty eggs, and that's why I know that cleaning is a hassle. And if it's a hassle, it doesn't get done. And with the best will in the world, go out and it's raining, clean your chicken out and take an hour, 2 hours? No, I don't think so. So I make cleaning as easy as I possibly can. So with that in mind, what you've got, excuse me, all this lot, nest divider, what I call the nest curb, which is the back, and the nest front, all comes out. Again, all marine ply, all comes out. So now you've totally exposed the floor and the nest, and you'll notice there's no lip here now. So you can scrape all your doings down there, straight into your wheelbarrow. So it's nice and easy to clean. Also, just to compound that, what happens on the other side is that lifts up as well. You can sometimes balance it. So what you've got now is this ark is now totally open for cleaning, because cleaning and looking after your birds is vital. Well, it's good husbandry, and it's cruel not to. So that's why basically, as I just said earlier, everything I make is made with firstly the chicken in mind, secondly the keeper in mind, and thirdly aesthetically. I try to make the arks, all my work, I try to make it look like you'd be proud of it in your garden. Someone once said, as I said before I think on a video, that a customer described my arks as arks that even your neighbours can be proud of. And that's a pretty good compliment. Which is why we do little things like, you know, cut. If we're going to make a hole in the side, just do it a little bit fancy, will you? Doesn't matter. You do it for yourself, so I'm doing it for you. There's not much more I can tell you about this ark. It's practical. We've sold literally thousands of them. I can tell you so many stories. I even had a customer once came, he went for a holiday in Los Angeles, I think it was. Got up in the morning, was staying with friends. I looked out the curtains, and there on the man's garden was one of my arks, and he had one at home. So I get all over the world with this. I used to more than I do now. And I've sold them hundreds and hundreds of them, and I know they work. Because if someone phones up and says, no, there's something wrong with the ark, I know, no, there's nothing wrong with the ark. There's something wrong with the keeper or something wrong with the birds. So I'm completely confident if you buy one of these, you will never regret it. So I'm cold now and I want to go in, so I'm going to. Also, you might have noticed that I've been made to wear sparkly white overalls, because I want to wear my normal overalls, not because I particularly want to prove anything, but I make things and I wear overalls and I do the job that I say I do. So we've come to a compromise. I've got to wear sparkly white overalls, especially for cleaning. But like I just said to my colleague, I'm like an old dog now, because in a minute I'm going to go and find a puddle and roll in it. That'll show them. God bless. See you again. Good night. Goodbye, I should say.